my career as an author began with Sheth Publishers, and I have written one book for them on advertising, which went into 10 or 12 editions. There was a huge gap between the kind of books that were available in Indian subjects and the same subjects when were dealt with by the international authors. I found that there was a huge gap, and we felt that we should bridge this gap. So when Deepak Bhai first spoke to me about writing a book on advertising way back, I think in 1990, I was inspired by the fact that I was given the freedom to include a lot of case studies and not write a typical textbook, but somewhere a cross between a textbook and a reference book. So that's how my journey as an author and teacher got a real impetus, and the book went on to be a kind of a standard textbook, and that's how my journey as an author started. I think basically it's all about doing your research, getting your research right. Other than teaching, I am totally into yoga, so I definitely like to spend my time in that practice, and also I like watching movies, especially purposeful movies which give you some kind of insight. Invictus has been a movie that has inspired me. I think it would be my school teacher in my 8th or 9th grade, Bharti ma'am, who was very compassionate, who looked at the potential of each student, was impartial, and encouraged every student. I think that is the most important quality of a teacher, to see the potential of every student. So I would think that she was one teacher who was truly a teacher, not just a knowledge person, but a teacher in heart. I like to cook. I'm fond of cooking. Advertising has a huge potential, especially now with digital marketing. As you can see, we are on Instagram and youngsters are taking this interview. So I think every student has a career opportunity in that. I think students should read more. They should read more. I'll just say that 3 times. Students should read more. They should be aware of things. Sadly, they're only examination oriented. Like Mark Twain once said, I never allowed my education to interfere with my schooling. So, education is different and schooling is different. So you are getting a degree, but to educate yourself, you have to read more. Yeah, LOL is laugh out aloud. To my students. I remember a couple of my students. One of them, Anandi Mani. She was a student way back in 1986, and she was very well read. She is now a professor herself. She was a chartered accountant topper, and she's a professor at one of the top universities in Britain. She kind of set the standards on what I can deliver in the class, because she herself would come very well prepared to class.